think I'm getting close.
Ren, this stew tastes like it was steeped in rusty nuts. Maybe we should just stick to eating the paste. It's not so bad eating the same soft, bland mush every meal. Forever.
Come in search of a hot meal? Hard to come by here, I know, but mark my words, one day there'll be more than just the aroma of bubbling brass wafting out of Slag Town. People are going to come from far and wide to try what's making it. Or a mud mixer. Might as well be the same thing most days. Getting ingredients that pass for edible is a challenge in Slag Town. Solus Romathron's got real mushrooms he's been dangling in front of me, but he won't sell to the likes of us. Really? Well, if you got me some fresh ones from the halls of regulation, that'd be a start. But they aren't much good like that. Solus has some trick to making them edible he keeps closely guarded. Maybe you could pilfer his secret recipe for me? Mind yourself around Solus. He's a mean one with friends in high places. Helps him keep his monopoly on the mushroom trade. He won't take kindly to anyone poking around. Oh, he's the type to keep records on anything he considers worth remembering, especially if it can make him a profit. I'm sure he's got his notes tucked away in his office, maybe even under lock and key. Be best not to mention us then. It wouldn't help your case being associated with Slagtowners. I'd hate to see you get in trouble on our account, but we're just scraping by, you understand? Oh, I reckon anything that can grow here is special. But from what I gather, they got real flavor. Might even be strong enough to take the edge off fabricant meat. I've tried, but no amount of boiling, chopping, or mashing did the trick. Those mushrooms are tougher than shoe leather and full of spores any way you dice them. Besides, they're hard enough to come by without me wasting them on trial and error. Can't really say that any of the Tinkerer's creations were designed with edibility in mind, but there's only so much of that mushy food paste a person can eat in one lifetime. I was raised on this stuff and I can barely stand it. Doesn't make me much of a wood elf, does it? All my parents used to talk about over dinner was the wild game from home. Everyone from outside gets the same look in their eye when talking about their favorite meal. It's why I took up cooking. Don't I know it? But if I can make the days a little easier for even one person, it'll be worth it. And if I only wind up making something so bad the paste is good by comparison, well, that's a victory in a way, right?
Sorry. I should try and finish this while it's still warm. You think it might taste... Sorry.
a weakling steals. You'll get what you deserve.
I swear I'll destroy every one of these blasted machines if I have to. Somehow. Oh! Who would you be? Did the Clockwork Apostles send you? Oh, well, because the halls of regulation is breaking down. Naturally. I sent a request for aids ages ago. I would have fixed things by now, but the repair factotums keep attacking me. They see anyone who enters as an intruder. Truly? Why, that's most excellent. Now, the very fate of Clockwork City's clean water supply rests in our hands, so we must act quickly. I know the locations of the machines in need of repairs, but we'll have to search around for specific parts. Based on the schematics, I believe the Vapor Manifold and Distillation Initiator both need repairs. Easy enough for one of my talents. We just need a ventilation gear and a cleansing crystal. They should be fairly straightforward to find. It's the main source of arcane energy for the Distillation Initiator. The filtration system can only decontaminate the water so much. This ensures that water is safe for human consumption, a vitally important part of the distillation process. The currently placed cleansing crystal is still active, but I don't believe that will be the case for very long, which means we should make the necessary repairs post-haste. Carefully. Repair factotums are crawling all over this place, and they're determined to defend these halls. such good condition.
moment there, I was worried that the factotums had whisked them all away. What a lucky find. The necessary repairs. I should be done in but a moment. It is blasted! I mean, no worries. I meant to do that. Irreversible damage. No problem. It worked? I mean, of course it worked. I knew what I was doing the entire time. We have but one more task ahead. The geotic dynamo that fuels the galvanic engine needs to be replaced. However, it's located in the regulation chamber, which is protected by a guardian factotum. You'll have to fend it off if I'm to make repairs. What? What a silly question. It's malfunctioning, of course. Just like the repair factotums. The Apostles didn't even know there were issues when they sent me here for routine maintenance. Obviously, they weren't aware of the malfunctions. Oh, I'm certain you'll have to. But trust me when I say that Factotum is doing more harm than good. If we let it be, then it will just destroy all the repairs I've set into place. I'm sure of it. But I think we'll be given a choice. I'm very certain. If we don't fix the galvanic engine, then there's a strong possibility that the entire system will shut down. This is the most crucial repair yet. Please, you've trusted me this far. Just one more fix and we'll be in the clear. Just stay out here until you've dealt with our little friend, just as a precaution. Certainly looks like the galvanic engine that I'm going to fix now. Right now. Here I go. And this goes here, and then, of course, this goes over here, and if I just put this here. It's fixed? It's fixed! Yes! My plan worked. The Clockwork Apostles will have to accept me now. Can't believe we were actually able to do it. The halls of regulation are up and running again. Our repairs won't hold forever, but I should be able to maintain function in the meanwhile. I don't think it's too much to say that I'm truly a genius. Oh, there's absolutely no need to concern yourself about that. I assure you, all that matters is that the Brass Fortress will have water tonight because of us. Am I right? Here, you've been such a great help. You should be properly rewarded. Isn't there some other adventure you should be off to? Tilly, why did you have to open your stupid mouth? Look, I was honest about the halls of regulation needing repair, and every danger I outlined was of immediate concern. However, I may have embellished my connections with the Apostles. Well, I suppose that I had a connection at all. When I arrived in Clockwork, I was immediately drawn to the Apostles. I knew they could help me strengthen not only my magic, but also my technical skills, which are already quite impressive. Exactly so. It seems dark elf blood runs a little deeper here than they'd like to admit. I was an outsider, and compared to many here, my magic is still weak at best. I'm sure my round ears also didn't help make an impression, but I was determined. I found the schematics in a public depository and decided to research the mechanics in order to build upon my technical proficiency, perhaps even make some improvements. I thought it might give me the edge I needed to join the Apostles. I really am sorry about that. I panicked when you showed up and thought you might inform the Apostles. I wanted at least a chance to make repairs. And it all worked out in the end. Clockwork City still has water, and I have my edge. Positive. I have a far better understanding of the mechanics now, and within a few weeks, I'll have a permanent repair. That's when I'll report my success to the Apostles. Thank you for helping me accomplish this. It truly means the world to me.
He's not looking, is he? I tried.
Hello again, friend. Don't mind the smell, just baking up a sort of clay souffle. Really scraping the bottom of the ingredient barrel right now. Any luck with those mushrooms? That's great! Let's have a look, eh? Why, that slimy son of a script... He's been lying through his teeth! I could have been growing these mushrooms the whole time. Still, his pickling recipe is just what I needed to make use of them. Great work. I hate the way people look down on slag towners. Maybe it's not enough that I help feed these people something worth eating. We're always gonna be struggling until the snooty folks on high see we have something to contribute. Produce something that doesn't just help us get by, but makes people up top take notice. I'd love to take something from my homeland and give it its own Slagtown flair. We had some root liqueur that would have been perfect, but we drank all we had. No, I can't imagine how hard something like that is to come by in Clockwork City. Maurice never did say how he came by a case of it, but I'm not one to pry. Couldn't hurt to do some asking around though, right? I really appreciate you volunteering for all this. Not many in Clockwork City who'd stop to spit on us down here, let alone do us a kindness. Oh yes, uncommon stuff. Created by Bosmer ages ago in secret using Eldenroot clippings. Blasphemous against the Green Pact, they say. Me? I don't think I've ever even seen the color green. Never had the stuff before I stumbled on Maurice's stash. Well, it's pretty sweet, you see, and almost syrupy as it is. Reckon it'd make a great base for marinade. Much better than boiler coolant, that much I'm certain. Another slag like me. I'm sure you've seen him around and never noticed him. That's just how it goes for us. He's an ambitious sort, always hoping to find a way out of his position down here. I cheer him up whenever his plans fall through. That case he had stashed was a once-in-a-lifetime find, he said. He was gonna sell it to a buyer and leave this all behind, but the deal fell through. So we wound up drinking the whole thing as a pick-me-up. Foolish. Fun, but foolish. When you put it like that, it does seem like a lot to take on. But hey, I don't think they could think any less of us as it is, so no harm in trying.
Hey, Brent, maybe send your friend to the guild traders. They traffic in all sorts.
Not a bad idea. They wouldn't give us the time of day, but I bet they'd be eager to help a cutting figure such as yourself.
Think I'm gonna take a stroll. A little smoky in here. No offense.
I'll be here, airing the place out, if you have any luck with those guild traders.
Hey, you.
I have
Working
many
with
functions
Brendolin.
to help you
Come
with
this
your
way.
purchases.
I overheard you talking to Bren about the root liquor, and I had to intervene before you took off on some wild guar chase. Oh, I know you won't. That rare stock was a batch of counterfeit hooch I was trying to pass off on a wealthy mark, but she caught wise. When Bren got into it, I didn't have the heart to tell him it wasn't the real thing. I only made one batch. Suppose I could, but I based it off stuff that isn't easily come by. A part of the mix is wellspring hooch, and I have on good authority that some students of the catalog of root duplication keep a stash. Off limits, but that's not the hard part. But the other main ingredient can't be found in Clockwork City. Stuff was stolen from the private reserve of some silk shirt in Port Hunding. Even if you could get out of this ticking prison, you'd have to smuggle a crate of the stuff back here. I'll believe you when I see it. If you do pull it off, meet me in Slagtown.
Hey, that's not yours, Swit!
The guard knows how to deal with the likes of you.
Disgraceful. You not only look like a criminal, you smell like one too. Hey! What did you do that for? You should have left when you had the chance. Guards!
I saw that, you swit.
Your haven. A common criminal? I'm not impressed.
harvester with some guts.
You, find the little thing we talked about? Phew, you really are something. How'd you wind up in a dump like this? Give me a minute to cut this. Little, boiler coolant gives it some bite. And there. Genuine Elden Root liquor. Promise you'll keep this between us. I like Bren too much to break his heart. He tries so hard to keep us in good spirits. I'll get out of here before you give it to him.
Hello again, friend. Interest you in a rust crumble cake? It's not so bad once you get past the taste. Texture's nice. This is incredible. Where did you find it? I hope it wasn't too much trouble. Promise I'll stretch this bottle long as it'll last, now that I know better. Now that I got the base for a marinade, it'd be nice to have something to use it on. I'm afraid I used the last of the meat in our larder on that misbegotten stew. Well, that'd be great, but it'll be dangerous. Fabricated critters out in the wild are just as mean as the real thing. Real tender around the flanks, though. Maybe because the machine bits are doing all the work. About a dozen ought to last us a while. One more thing, a special request. Tuba B loved Nixound meat before she wound up here. Brethe Rudarum raises the best you can find, but I can't afford his prices. I'd really like to impress her, and I know where he keeps his stash. You really are the best. Brethe Ru keeps his fresh meat in an airtight trunk at his stables until he's ready to either cook it or preserve it. If he just nick a little, he does well for himself, probably won't even miss it. Oh, well, I mean, you could, sure. It's just, I could never pay you back for something like that. Just one cut costs more than I'll even have in my life down here. Everybody down here is special to me. We're all we've got. But I do guess I got a soft spot for her. She's never once complained about my cooking. Even when I know it's eye-wateringly bad, it's always, thank you, and a scratch behind the ears. Only that they're probably more dangerous than your average beastie, but I'd be pretty fearless about what I'd try to take a bite out of if I had metal teeth too. Be careful. I'd feel terrible if you got hurt on account of me.
Worried about your gold? Well, don't be. My good neighbors are convinced I'll hex anyone who so much as thinks about stealing from me. And who am I to dissuade them?
Well, friend, a word.
These Nyx hounds may be part machine, but they're all animal at heart. I care for them the best I can and love them while they're living, but even I have to put food on the table. If I do, it's mostly a coincidence. They're hand-raised mostly just for my own needs, but I'll sell off some surplus now and again. Takes a lot of effort, so I don't part with it cheap. I can fetch some from my larder, if it's worth it to you. You'll never find meat more mercifully raised, I'll promise you that. Might put this toward new bedding for Twitchy and Hopper. Take care now.
friend. Was hoping to see you again. Was just popping up for some fresh-ish air, and what do I find but the tangy smell of fresh meat? Looks like you've had some luck at the butcher's. Perfect. I can take that off your hands now. Gonna need to give it a good soak in that marinade before I can get dinner started. Come by later and I'll have something to thank you for all this good effort. I insist. Friends, the guest of honor has arrived. Cooked up something special for you all. Soon to be favorites, I'm sure. For you, Kara, a mushroom-filtered meat stew. No more of that overwhelming metallic tang, I promise. And for you, Maurice, root liqueur marinated fabric chop neatly braised. Soon to put Slagtown on the culinary map. And finally, Tubaby, the crown jewel of my feast. Hand-fed Nix fillets in a mushroom and root liqueur reduction.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
And for my newest friend, I have a special treat. I never would have been able to concoct any of these wonderful dishes without you. And you've clearly got an appreciation for food. So, I've conjured up a unique recipe to help you through your time in Clockwork City. I hope you enjoy it. Nothing too difficult, I promise. Most of the ingredients should be readily available in Clockwork City, so you shouldn't have to jump through any more hoops for a decent meal.
All right. Here goes.
Might need a little nip of that liquor after this. Delicious.
Hey, Bren, this is good. You did it.
Oh, my. There is a hint of home in this. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I've really worked up an appetite. You know, I got so busy I completely forgot to make something for myself. Based on the reaction so far, I think they're just mine. I was really worried, but with not having tasted more than that mealy paste for most of my life, I thought maybe I had an underdeveloped sense of taste. Yes, absolutely. I'll be able to keep serving decent meals for a few weeks at least. It'll give me time to think of some new recipes, and maybe some more easily acquired ingredients. Didn't mean to make you watch other people eat with an empty setting. Just didn't know when you'd next be in, so I made you something that would keep. It'll be worth the effort, I promise.
Real food. Or near as I can tell, I don't care. Didn't think I'd ever come back for seconds down here. Bren ever needs more of your help, count me in.
I'm so proud. I nearly retched just thinking about the last stew, but I held it together. Oh, and I'm glad I did. Brenglin really worked a miracle this time. We might just be able to kick the paste after all.
This one did not expect to taste such fine things again in her life. Tubaby will miss the moons a little less tonight. She is grateful to Bringolin and to you.
I'd watch your gold down here if I was you.
I I can polish up any dirty goods you have. Cleaner than a factotum's arse.
It's not a good day to travel, but travel we must.
Well?
We still have room if you expect to travel.
Well?
That there were no survivors. Were the orcs really that precise?
We don't mind.
Too old, my tusk. I'll show him too old.
Well met, traveler. What brings you out to Fell's Run? You know about Aunt Dulza? How? She's been missing for over 20 years now, ever since she set out to Craglorn to deliver a shipment. Steel and stone. We all suspected it, of course. Aunt Dulza was stubborn as a pack mule when it came to deliveries. When she never arrived in Dragonstar, still, can't help but hold on to hope sometimes. What? You managed to recover the Gro Morkel clan's ancestral sword? Let me see that. By Moloch's jawbone, it is the sword. Returned after all this time. Another reason we knew Aunt Dulza was dead. She'd never let that sword be lost. This means more than you know. The Gro-Morkel clan had all but given up finding this sword again. Now we can finally return to Orsinium with our heads high. Thank you. Your actions deserve a greater reward than this, but it's been a slow year.
Bailiff Sagaba is such a dunderhead. He takes 3 rooms for 3 nights, and then he just tells me he didn't need 2 of them? He gave me back the keys, but he refuses to pay. Well, I originally called this place the Fell Inn, but nobody seemed to care for that name. I thought it was appropriate, but it didn't really appeal to the Bretons or the Orcs. They don't really like the Run Inn either, but what do I care?